Hello Stampers, and welcome to Laura's Stamp Pad. Today I am stamping with you and I am sharing with you this beautiful flower card. You guys know how much I love flowers and I love stamping with them, and this card is just the epitome of all of that. There's also a little bit of glitter on there, if you guys can see that fabulous wink of Stella, just making those flowers shine even brighter and just look oh so fabulous. I also got that two-tone look on those flowers using a sponge dauber. So let's get started on how I created this card. First, I started with a piece of Seaside spray. This I'm going to use as my card base, and it measures 8.5 by 5.5. And I'm just going to go ahead and use my bone folder to get that nice strong crease. Next, I have a piece of Highland Heather, and this actually measures 4 inches by 5.25. And I'm just going to add this on with my regular adhesive to the card front. We're going to actually pop up the greeting with dimensionals, so this is just going to lay flat. Next, I'm going to take 2 pieces of Whisper White. These both measure 3 3/4 by 5. And we're going to bring in the Stamparatus to stamp down those flowers. So here I have my Stamparatus, and I'm just going to add my Whisper White cardstock to this far corner here. And you can see that I have my flowers right here. So for the flowers, I'm actually going to ink them all up in Seaside spray. So I'm just going to ink up all of the flowers completely with that Seaside spray, and then I'm going to take my Highland Heather and a little sponge dauber, and I'm just going to tap in the center of each of those flowers. And then now we have that beautiful two-tone look, and we're just going to go ahead and stamp it down. You can see there's that beautiful blue and purple on each of those flowers. And now we have that gorgeous look. So we're done with the Stamparatus now, and I'm actually then just going to bring in some crushed curry to do the centers of each of those flowers. And then I'm going to do the leaves with the Pear Pizzazz. And you can add as many or as few leaves as you wish. And then I also like to do some of them in a little stamped off look for that lighter tone. This just gives a nice little variation on the leaves. Okay, so now that we have all of those beautiful leaves on there, it's time to add some fabulousness with the glitter. So I'm going to go ahead and take my Wink of Stella pen, and I'm just going to brush it all over the flowers, all over, just all over the petals. You can even do the centers, you can do the leaves. And I mean, it really doesn't matter because I want all the glitter I can possibly get. So, except that much glitter. I don't want that much. So let's see if we can move this around and still salvage this project. Although it is looking quite wet right there. So, through the magic of television, let us get caught up to this spot again with a second one. Okay, so we're back again, and I'm adding Wink of Stella to a new one, and apparently I need to be a little bit more careful on how much I squeeze to get that glitter to come out. I could have easily edited all of that out and redone it, but I wanted to show you guys that it happens to the best of us, and it's absolutely okay. We can start again, or we can always embellish. So I did want to show you the messed up one. You can see that this flower here is super shiny because there is a ton of Wink of Stella there. But you know what? I could always cut this card right here and use the bottom half and put a greeting at the top half with some ribbon as a divider to it, or do something like that to still salvage out this card and make the most of it. Or I just have one super glittery flower and maybe no one would even notice. You just never know. So I decided to go ahead and leave that in and just go ahead and do a second one and show you that it's okay, that mistakes still happen. They happen to all of us, so don't feel like you're alone if something like that happens to you. So now we have our gorgeous Wink of Stella glittered flowers, and we're gonna go ahead and add that to the card front. So I'm just gonna use my regular adhesive and pop that on the front of my card. Of course, we want to coordinate the inside of the card, so it has some fabulousness on it as well. So I'm going to take a second piece of that Whisper White, and then there's one of the smaller flowers. Again, I'm just going to ink that up in the Seaside Spray, and then I'm going to take my Highland Heather and my sponge dauber, and that one really just needs one daub in the center because it goes so small. So I'm just going to add that right there in the middle, and there's a small little bitty leaf that is perfect for the center of this flower, so I'm going to stamp that in the yellow. So then we have that fabulous little coordinating flower to be able to add to the inside of our card. And we're just going to put that down in the corner closest to you. So it's actually upside down for me, but looks fabulous for you. So now we need that center greeting. Of course, this card looks fabulous as is, but I also feel like there's a little bit of like a center spot that could be filled in, and that is just perfect for a greeting. So I'm going to use my favorite punch that I just can't get enough of because it's 6 punches in one. So for this one, I'm actually going to take my Whisper White strip. This is this is a 1/2 inch. I'll get it right one of these days, right? So it's a 1/2 inch, and then I'm going to stamp my greeting. And the greeting I chose is "I like you a lot." And that's only because this one was out from doing another project. So we're just gonna go ahead and stamp "I like you a lot" close to that side there. So now we have that. What I'm going to do then is I'm going to take this little piece that punched out, place it onto my card where I would like it to be so that the spacing on both ends is even. And then I'm going to take a little pencil and make a mark. And then now I'm just going to cut on that mark and then place it in the punch. That way I know that it is even on both sides. So I'm just going to slide that in and punch. And I'm going to do the same thing for my Highland Heather piece. So I'm just going to slide the cardstock in and punch. And then I'm going to use this punched piece to get that perfect layering effect where it's even on both sides. And just make a little mark with my pencil. You could always make a mark with your fingernail or anything like that. I know we've all been there before. And slide this all the way back. Sometimes on the smaller ones, I do like to look at the back side to make sure it is nice and lined up perfectly. Because with the smaller ones, they tend to like move around a little bit more. And I want it to be lined up. So now I'm just going to add adhesive to this greeting, layer it on to this greeting piece, and then I'm going to add this to my card front with some Stampin' Dimensionals. This is going to give it a little bit of oomph and look absolutely fabulous. The awesome thing about using this punch is your greeting can be as long or tall as you need it to be, so it fits every single greeting in the stamp set. So that's just going to go right across the center there, and then you could either leave it as is, or you could always add some rhinestones to either end, depending on how much white you have left. So you can see I used 2 different punches, or the punch designs. So the one card uses the one punch design, and the other card uses the other punch design. And this one sort of has that little bubble out that allows for a rhinestone. I'm not so sure this one does, so I might just leave that one alone with no rhinestones on it. But you can see how they just pop. And it's so crazy how the one pops more than the other because I did it in Highland Heather versus the Seaside Spray. So let me know which one you prefer. Do you prefer your greeting to have a background of Seaside Spray or a background of Highland Heather? I'd love to see the comments in the description below. So let me know which one your favorite is. Of course, I forgot to show you guys the entire stamp set. This is the Blossoms in Bloom stamp set. So you can see there's the 5 full flowers, tons of greetings, and lots of great flower centers, small flowers, and leaves to go along with it. So this is a super fabulous stamp set that I'm in love with. I really love having images and greetings all in one stamp set because I find them to be so much more versatile that way. Of course, if you want this one, you can always check out in the description box. I have links directly to all of the supplies that I used for creating this card. Let me know whether you prefer Seaside Spray or Highland Heather. Give this video a thumbs up if you liked it. Be sure to subscribe if you're new. And don't forget to check out my blog, laurastamppad.com, to see more photos of these as well as other card inspiration. Have a wonderful day, everybody, and happy stamping. Bye-bye.